Hey everybody, welcome back to the Playing with Power podcast, the unofficial issue-by-issue retrospective on Nintendo Power magazine. You're joining us for part 2 of volume 79 from December of 1995. I am your host Ben, with me as always is my co-host Mike.
Yo.
And John, for the last time.
Hi-oh. Silver.
All right. Let's dig right into it. We know only the true fans stay for part 2, so we're just going to get right into the meat here.
It's Friday.
Woo!
It's Friday.
So we're on page 51 here at the Epic Center. They have an update for us about Super Mario RPG, and they're telling us about Ogre Tactics coming up.
If someone had come up with that game, like...
They're telling us about Dragon Quest VI from Enix. And now we're talking about, it says, the word from our friends at Square is that they're not building a sequel to Evermore, but an even more ambitious project.
Yeah,
so,
well,
and they also mentioned...
I looked it up, and that development team did not make a sequel. Evermore was the only game that the Redmond team made.
So, also, unfortunately, they do have a Secret of Mana 3, or 2 as it would have been numbered here, in Japan, and it never got released in the States.
Thanks, Obama.
Which I've actually played using ROM patches, and it's halfway decent, actually.
How was the localization?
Hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was back in, like, the late 90s, so it was, like, really fresh.
Yeah, English... Yeah, people were still trying to crack the Japanese language.
So, I mean, it wasn't, like, the highest... I'm sure there's better ones now, put it that way.
80% of the Japanese I know is from Tokyo Drift.
All right. Secret of Evermore, Part Deuce. Mike, take it away.
Well, I didn't keep playing this game, sadly, but...
Hooray!
But we do get to see Toaster Dog. As you can see in the upper right corner, we have Toaster Dog. And then we get to see some Egyptian fairs, some Egyptian marketplace. And one thing I remember in this game is that we have a special cameo in the medieval setting by Cecil from Final Fantasy II.
Huzzah.
Sweet.
And we have a Take-Two here.
Oh, we get to see the... there's this lovely chess battle where you fight pawns, rooks, and stuff with your poodle. Yeah, I forgot the dog turns into a poodle. And then finally a door opens up, and then you get to fight Justin Timberdrake in the forest beyond the stream. It's the Timberdrake, a fire-breathing dragon. Apparently he shoots fire at you, but you can beat him by shooting fire at him.
I mean, that does seem like it would make sense.
I like the two...
There's a guy called the King of the Rats.
I like the two bosses here on page, 54. They have a mini... So, instead of a Minotaur, they have a Minitar and a Megatar. The Minitar just looks kind of wimpy, and then the Megatar looks like
super roided up.
The Rock if he gave his steroids.
It's like if The Rock fucked a pit bull.
Yeah.
Or if The Rock fucked Pitbull, and you have to deal with Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Lovely. And then I like this boss, Aegis the Destroyer. Just a giant sort of metallic Egyptian-type mask. But pretty cool looking for a robot.
Yeah, he's got like a crescent moon and some cobra-headed hood.
The name of this next boss is cracking me up on the next page here. It's just called Aquagoth. And it's like a octopus-type creature that's all black.
You don't even have to do anything. You just have to wait for him to slit his own wrists.
Yeah.
All 8 of them.
Let me guess, his attack is cutting himself.
You just sit there and watch while he talks about how bad life is and how nobody understands him.
This is the game. Is this the game where you have to send him the text messages to get back inside the car?
Too much, too far.
That went dark.
I love when it's too much for you guys.
I wish my lawn was emo so it would cut itself.
There you go. And then let's see what else they have. Foot Knight, which is what? A shoe? Oh, that's the chessboard you were talking about earlier. All right. Yeah. Let's move on to the take two to the game nobody played.
You have to watch out for Suge Knight, though. He's a tough boss.
He'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Pay time off too.
If he gets you over the balcony, you're fucked.
Pt2 Pacific Theater of Operations. I didn't realize it was the first one. So here we are, a sequel to something. And what is this game? It looks like another Koei game. And it is!
It reeks, hey, maps and text. Guess what this is?
Yep.
In this game, you sneak up on imperialist America, and you bring them, to mercy.
You bring them to mercy. That's some pretty good English right there.
Yeah.
You can play as either USA, Japan, or both sides.
You jump out, you go, surprise!
And I think this is 2 because it's after World War II. So you plan the assault in the Pacific Theater of War.
The surprise attack.
The final
Supplies!
days. In the Japanese level of the final day, you just sit there and get blown up twice.
We attack the gaijin at dawn. Our slanted eyes help us see through the sunlight. It's so fucked up.
That's why the bomb didn't do. That's why the bomb didn't do too much damage to them. They were already squinting when they saw it.
Oh, so bright, so bright. Hey, Nintendo legal. All right. What else do we have? We have Civilization being ported.
Is this what it looked like on the computer?
Yeah. I mean, it's being crammed onto a TV screen here. But it's, pretty true to what the game looks. I never played this version. I've seen versions of this game played. Just the later versions are a lot more approachable.
Have you seen what happened to the? Have you seen videos of that guy who let his game of Civilization run on for 10 years?
Yeah, that was actually really interesting because
everything was an apocalyptic wasteland.
Right, because basically they had 2 superpowers that were both nuclear, annihilating each other just constantly. What's funny is there was a third group that had managed to hold on. It was the Iroquois or something like that had held onto a island on the northern edge of the map, and so Civ players on Reddit caught it and loaded the instance of the game into their own games and figured out how to win as the Iroquois within 20 turns, even though they were isolated on basically Greenland.
You mean how to repel the Mayflower?
Well, no, they figured out how to completely turn the tables and take a cast-off group and win the game within 20 turns or something crazy. This doesn't make. People are really good at breaking this game. It's one of those things. It's kind of. I guess maybe
it was the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah. Well, no. I don't know. Just the amount of commitment that some people have to this game is just staggering. It's kind of like EVE Online. I don't really want to play it, but I definitely want to read about the huge battles that go down. When you hear about the shit that the EVE players do against each other, it's just staggering. Mm-hmm. So, I would not play this version of Civ. I would play. My personal favorite is 5. A lot of people swear by 4. I've heard 6 is good. I haven't played it, but I think.
But
4,
But look at Queen Elizabeth with the Queen Victoria with the pinto bean hair.
This game's fine. I'm just saying, if you're gonna play this series, play one of the later ones. It's a lot more approachable.
I love the screenshot. It's so terrible you can't even read what the Queen is saying.
There actually is it's not that hard to read in real life. There's a 360 version of Civilization called like Civ Revolution. It's designed to be played in a few hours instead of like multiple days like a regular Civ game takes. So that's kind of a pick up and play, decent game. I can't recommend it over 4 or 5, but I mean,
do they have a 6 yet, or is that in the works?
6 is out. I haven't bought it. I don't know if my computer... It was like my computer was just at the, like, bare minimum, like, requirements. And I was kind of like, it's asking for trouble. Let's see, what am I at? I have 483 hours in Civ 5.
Oh my god.
According to Steam. I haven't played it in a long time, though. So...
Well,
have you ever played any of the other Sid Meier's games, like Pirates?
Yeah, Pirates is really fun. I had that on the Xbox, the original Xbox. Me and my sister used to play it. We called it Silly Boats, and we would just play the multiplayer mode against each other and try to shoot each other's pirate ships down.
That's
and
funny.
my mom would just be like, "You guys are nuts," because we would just load up the pirate boat, like multiplayer battle, and just play for hours against each other. Just like we didn't really know how to play the game, so it was more fun that way, like trying to figure out like on the fly. So yeah. My mom thoroughly enjoyed like hearing me and my sister yell at each other as we tried to play Silly Boats against each other.
Apparently, there's a dancing mechanic, as well as sneaking and land warfare.
Yeah, the whole Pirates is a really interesting, like especially the modern version. Like it's a really good game. Like Sid Meier's makes very good games. You have to be patient. It takes a little bit to get used to them. But if you're willing to be committed to learning the mechanics and sort of, it's like once you scrape off the surface, there's a lot there. So
wow, and it was co-made by Atari.
Okay,
I'll vouch for Sid Meier's Pirates. I've played the original way back in the day, and then I actually purchased the Xbox version as well, but on my 360, and it was fun.
Yeah,
Good graphics.
I think I had a copy. You could have borrowed it.
Did you know Sid Meier's?
No, it's all right.
Did you know Sid Meier is Canadian?
Oh, I immediately like it a lot less now.
Burn it all.
Oh, he's from Sarnia. That's not far from here.
Was it like Narnia, but the Canadian version?
Yeah, so like free healthcare.
Yeah, that when Aslan gets stabbed by the Queen, he doesn't need like miracles or anything to save him. He just has like some doctors come patch him up, and he's like, "You're all good to go, eh?"
All right, let's move on to classified information. We've got more combos from the Treehouse for Killer Instinct. You can get it to stage select going. Hello.
I think John just threw away his keyboard in disgust after learning
that wasn't
one
me.
of his heroes.
No, my magazine fella had it propped up. Bubsy 2, you can get 99 of a special power-up like diving suits or portable holes, smart bombs, nerf shots, extra lives, or invulnerability.
But a bitch ain't one.
Hi-yo. And a reminder, there's a game called Syndicate, which none of us played, and there are special passwords to essentially start in different territories. Chrono Trigger, what does this say?
Charming and disarming.
Use the charm spell on some major enemies for unexpected bonuses. So you can get extra crap for using charm, essentially, when you fight big bosses.
That's what makes this game stand out above other games. Whenever they have things like charm or steal, usually when it comes across like big enemies, you don't bother wasting a turn on that shit, because these moves only work on the scrubs, but on Chrono Trigger, your moves will work on anything.
Well,
So
we got to go through these riddles from Batman Forever here. These are the Riddler's riddles. So the first one, and they're telling you the answer to them. So I guess the Riddler gives you riddles that tell you what to do in the stage you're in. So the first one is, unlucky for some, you need to be ruthless to achieve this baker's dozen. So that apparently means blow off the top of the elevator and use your grappling hook to get to the secret 13th floor.
Huh.
Mike, why don't you take the next one?
Steal, but no steel. Rich, but still poor. Vault at great heights, but I fall through the floor. Which is a convoluted way of telling you that in Two-Face's hideout, you use a grappling hook to pull down the safe, the vault, that is hanging from the ceiling and will demolish all the enemies beneath it and reveal a new area.
John, to the next one.
Is a musical hit that strikes the right chords is a nice tune to play. It'll bring you rewards. On Claw Island, which is where the Inspector Gadget villain lives, if you knock an opponent into the electrical wires, as in cords rather than chords, a hidden area will emerge.
I'll get you next time, Batman. Next time.
I'll get you yet, Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
Looking for savings? Check all around. Raise your interest and tell what you found. And the answer to that is in the bank. To get the savings, as in rescuing hostages, you have to raise yourself up with your grappling hook.
You think Gadget had a gadget penis?
No.
It had a rohypnol ejection tube.
Yeah, there's kind of like a tentacle, like hentai spin-off waiting to happen there.
No. It's like one of those. It's one of those fucking machines.
It is not good to be Penny.
Oh, why would he? God damn it! Really? Really? He's a fucking uncle. By the way, what happened
he's
to
based
porn
off
sites?
a Japanese cartoon, so...
What happened to porn sites? Like, why is it all of a sudden, like, all fucking stepmoms and shit, like, whenever you go there? Like, what? What the fuck is up with porn lately?
Are they just, like, following, like, Twitter trends or something?
I don't know, but you go on porn sites, it's like, watch your stepsister, blow you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't, like, what the fuck? Like,
I have to blame the Japanese. People were looking at that hentai, and then the North American markets would be like, how the hell do we compete with this incest stuff? Well, people are enjoying Game of Thrones.
I don't want to be watching a porn and hear the porn actors go like, yeah, give mommy the dick or some shit like that. It's like, like, fuck, god damn it.
So you punch the screen in and burn it.
Go back I'm just going to go back to my regular scat porn.
Especially when she says shit like, you know your genitals passed through me once. How about around trip?
Oh, Jesus
Christ. Mommy's a big boy. All right.
Nope.
Mommy's boy is all grown up.
And you'd be surprised it's in there. Because you're like, fucking, ugh.
Nope.
All right. Mega Man 8.
Well, at least we know that we got a career writing porn.
Lovely. You've been trying to get that career for a while.
Yeah.
How's that working out for you?
I'd love to see the script for that, like, for a porno. Ding dong, pizza's here. Next line, they fuck. Like, okay, great script writing.
I think that's why I can't get the job. It's just I overthink it. They're just like, why the hell do we have a 2-page script here? I mean, like, why not just like guy meets girl, guy undresses girl, guy impregnates girl?
Right. Instead, Mike writes like a Kafka-esque, like, interpretive, like, deep soul dive into the, like, into the psyche of the porn actress.
So,
let me guess, her daddy left when she was little.
Lovely. All right, so there's a stage select for Judge Dredd. You can play that wonderful game. And this is interesting. On Mega Man 7, there is a mode you can access to let 2 players compete in a Street Fighter style battle.
Hey, they should have told that guy that wrote in about it.
Exactly. Exactly what he's asking for. So there's a way to do it. And see here. You can choose between... There's a player select screen where you can choose between either Mega Man or Bass. And is that it? Can you play as anybody else? That's it. So you have Mega Man or Bass. I guess you can't play as the Robot Masters.
I guess all the base are belong to us.
Yo.
And all the trouble are belong to you.
And there's a way to get the Miracle Team for Virtual League Baseball. I don't know what that means.
If you're looking for greater challenges on the diamond, use these passwords to pit these national teams against the incredible Miracle Team. So if you want to play as Singapore against the Miracle Team, this is the code you use, sort of thing.
Okay. Sports scene. Mike, tell us about it.
He complained so fucking much about having to play these games, so...
What a whitey bitch!
He slaved away at these games for you people. I hope you appreciate it.
NBA Give and Go. The game crashed when I tried to load it up on my computer because my computer hates sports as much as I do. However, I did manage to fire up a video for this during the slow parts of this episode.
God damn it.
So lazy.
Who the fuck is Noob Noob?
All right. So what do you have to say about the game?
It, somewhat decent graphics. Everything is a little big and close up, though. I can't really talk about the play control since I wasn't controlling it, but it looked a little slow and jerky in the animation. But you know, if you want to play basketball with a weird third-person overhead perspective, then you know, give and go.
All right. How was Frank Thomas's Big Hurt Locker?
That game, it crashed as soon as I loaded it, and I didn't bother watching a video about that.
Way to really put the effort in for my last episode, Mike.
Damn it. Okay.
And what about... He's doing... You know what? This is the same shit I do at work when I don't want to do something. I, intentionally fuck it up so that they don't ask me to do it again.
You know what?
You get the next 6 months of fucking sports scenes just for this bullshit.
Exactly. You know that John's not gonna be around and talk sports anymore, right, Mike? I'm not doing it all.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you've just earned yourself a fucking penitentiary by freaking backdooring out of this. All right, Quarterback Club 96. I played this game growing up because I guarantee you it crashed on Mike.
Don't tell it. Don't say anything. I want to hear about Mike telling about how he played the game.
I didn't.
God damn you.
You had one fucking job.
God. All right. John.
Just play Madden. It's
all right, let's move on. Mech Warrior 3050, Futuristic Battletech Warfare, a game that we have not played. Looks pretty sweet, except for the fact that it is made by, I don't know, Activision. I thought it was Acclaim. It's a
PC. Mech Warrior is always a PC game for me.
It is, and this isn't like the PC ones. This one
Right.
is isometric view overhead, and you're controlling a mech on a map, so not first person like how the PC ones are.
Right.
Graphics look decent.
Yeah, I mean, for what it looks kind of like StarCraft or
Yeah, but Command and Conquer or something like that. But you're just
Yeah.
controlling one giant mech. I'd be interested to see if because the mech looks really big in these screenshots. I'd be interested to see if that actually, if it takes up that much real estate on screen, which would be unfortunate.
right.
Yeah,
if
I
it's
can
just
imagine
cropped.
it being playable from this perspective.
You can only see 2 feet in front of you. Great. All right. Well, we don't have a lot to say about that since we didn't really get a chance to play it. Let's move on to the next game, which is another piece of my homework. WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game for your Super Nintendo.
What kind of mugging is this guy doing for the camera?
Which one? Razor Ramon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is sort of I'm kind of retarded, but I'm also huge.
It's because he's chewing on a toothpick.
Yeah. But he's doing stuff with his eyes, like they're cross-eyed or something.
Yeah, it's like he took a hammer to the skull before they took a picture of him.
So here's what you need to know about this. This was an arcade game, and they have 8 players in the arcade game, and they only have 6 in the Super Nintendo. And the other ports for Genesis and 32X have all 8. So this is the inferior port.
I think I remember a friend that I would sleep over at his place. We would play this game.
Of the people that they decided to put as the 6, one of them is unfortunately Doink the Clown.
You take that back. Doink is...
Doink from Parts Unknown.
I would not pick Doink over the 2 people that they decided to leave out of the game, which was Bam Bam Bigelow and Yokozuna.
That's true. Damn it.
Do you know who Doink really was?
Some guy in a clown outfit? I don't know.
Who the actual person was?
Matt Osborne was his name.
Oh,
Okay.
Ozzy's brother.
Of course.
And he died of chronic traumatic encephalopathy. In other words, too many concussions.
Yeah, that's not a fun game. Don't play the What Happened to the Old Wrestler game. Like, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah. The story doesn't end well for any wrestler, pretty much.
What was the one joke? Like, it'll drop faster than Owen Hart or whatever?
Yeah, that was good.
His career dropped faster than Owen Hart.
Yeah, and Scott Hall, who's pictured right here with the mugging for the camera, like you said, he's the one that beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It says that the Doink's cause of death was an accidental overdose of morphine and hydrocodone. He also suffered from heart disease.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds about right.
They're really fucked up. Like,
it's a hard life.
But yeah, the remaining wrestlers that are besides Doink, we have Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, Undertaker, Bret Hitman Hart, and Lex Luger. So all really, good additions. Lex Luger's I'd rather have Bigelow than Lex Luger as well, but
What's funny is shortly after this, I think of the next year or two, Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, and Lex Luger all leave for WCW.
Right.
Leaving Undertaker and Heartbreak Kid, because Doink isn't around anymore after this either. So they're the only 2 of the 6 that really stick around.
Yeah, and that's why they had to turn to like The Rock and all the others to sort of
revamp their roster.
Because everybody went and joined Goldberg over in WCW.
Yep. So here's what I liked about the game. Excuse me. It has really good graphics.
It's really good.
Nice photorealistic renderings, sort of like Mortal Kombat, but really good animations. And what's kind of cute is when a wrestler gets hit, things that are associated with a wrestler will sometimes fly out of them. So if you hit Doink enough, like bowling pins fly out of them. If you hit the Undertaker, bones fly out of him. I think some of this is probably censored because if you hit certain characters, like water flies out of them. So I'm guessing it's blood in the arcade game. The music is horrible. The sounds are pretty bad as far as all the menus and all that.
But I remember the play being like, as someone that wasn't a big wrestling fan, I was able to pick up this game and play it with a friend without any trouble.
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. Don't worry. So you hear the announcers bark at you occasionally. They have a few sound clips in here, not a ton.
Oh, so it's not called by who's the world famous? Who's the Hall of Fame wrestling announcer from the time for WWE?
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah,
he's Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy.
No, Jerry Lawler. He has his voice in here, and so is Vince McMahon.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is actually developed by Midway, not the port, but the original game is for arcade.
Okay.
And it features Vince McMahon saying "Boom Shakalaka." Because they made NBA Jam, so they had him say it for some reason at the end, randomly in a match.
That's funny.
I don't know. So this is it's not really a wrestling game. It's more like a button mashing fighting game, sort of like Final Fights or Streets of Rage or something like that. But obviously only with 2 players.
You can kind of counter, and so there's a bit of wrestling in there.
There's some. You really don't have a whole lot of grapples. You can kind of do some combos.
What was the game that we played the shit ton out of when we played the
WCW versus NWO World Tour?
Yeah,
WCW
we played
Revenge.
a lot of that game.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah, so there's no really grapples in this game. You can run up the top rope, you can run, things like that. It's a fun button masher, especially for 2 players to play. You can see it being pretty fun, but as far as a single player game, there's not a whole lot of depth. There's 2 quote unquote campaigns, one for the Intercontinental belts, one for the International
Yeah, this
World
is
Championship.
definitely like, don't play this unless you're playing against another human. Like, this is definitely not a game to play. Like, it's incredibly fun multiplayer, but just a waste of your time as a single player.
Yeah, the single player game. I actually played through the Intercontinental Championship one, and I figured, okay, it's just taking me through all the other 5 wrestlers. Big whoop. So you do that, and then they go, oh no, let's play against 2 on 1.
Yeah, it's hard.
So then they pick 2 on 1, and then the other 2 on 1, and then with the last guy, what they do is they figured, okay, we're gonna make it 3 on 1, but it's not 3 other wrestlers. So I was playing as Bret Hart, and so it was like Bret Hart versus Bret Hart.
Oh.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. Yes, that's right.
Shit.
There were 3 copies of Bret Hart in the ring, one myself included, duking it out. So it got a little ridiculous.
I like this picture of Shawn Michaels. He looks like Elton John mugging for the camera.
Yeah. So I mean, if
that was always his persona.
Heartbreak Kid. If you like wrestling, like fighting games, I would recommend you play the arcade ROM over this port, and if you must play an original, play the 32X version.
Yeah, that's probably the right call.
I wouldn't play this Super Nintendo one.
No.
So, all right, what else? You guys have anything else to say about the wrestlers?
Apparently, the Undertaker can summon a fucking ghost dragon. So we got some actual superpowers in the ring.
I think that's the name of his move.
I'm looking at a dragon leaving his body, hitting Doink.
Tombstone smash. So you get a tombstone generated.
That would be instant. That's instant death right there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never, like, been that big of an Undertaker guy. Like, I get it, like, you know, in his unbeaten streak and all that, like, but I don't know. He was never that compelling to me.
He's 6'11".
Yeah,
Gosh,
Yeah,
that's
he's
tall.
huge. And him and his brother Kane are both giants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always preferred the fast talking.
Yeah, he's not funny is the thing. He's not like a funny character. I was always into...
so stoic.
My favorite, you know, I was like Kevin Nash quite a bit, but I always loved Chris Jericho.
I can't believe he's still alive.
Which one?
The Undertaker, still
Oh
alive.
yeah, he's still very much alive. He was still wrestling until a year or two ago,
Yeah.
and not like third string, like trying to feed my family wrestling. Like he was in the WWF until
And apparently he got quite a send off. After his match, he took up his gloves, coat, and hat, left it in the center of the ring before making his exit. And then they sounded off 3 gongs to sign him off.
I just can't imagine. Like, I mean, yeah, he's a great wrestler, but I can't imagine getting that emotional about Undertaker. All right.
Moment of silence, and then you be on to the next wrestler.
Yeah, pour one out for the homie.
Yep.
Whereas, like, Ric Flair dies, I'm gonna be like, damn it.
As I'm like sobbing.
When Hulk Hogan passes, that'll be like national news.
Yeah. All right, Counselor's Corner.
Oh my god. No, we got like a Doink's move. He's got the ear slap with a massive, like an inflatable hand. Then he's got the happy hammer, where he just brings a mallet into the ring. And then the joy buzzer, where he just straight up jokers his enemy. That's pretty darn cool.
Mm-hmm.
Counselor's Corner.
You'd play as the Hitman Hart because he's Canadian, I'm guessing.
I am the excellence of execution. That's his phrase right there.
Hitman was always a pretty good, like, I don't know, his character was compelling. Like, he's not the greatest wrestler, but like of the stars of that era, he was one of the better ones. You would have liked him if you were watching.
I enjoyed Bret Hart.
Yeah.
He's a good heel. Maybe a good heel.
Yeah, he's not great as like your lead, but like he's compelling as part of the story.
Mm-hmm. He's like a great sidekick if in a tag team match.
No. That's like the Hardy Boys and stuff are what you want for like a tag team match, but.
Bret Hart's Bret Hart's
that's the Mad Magazine equivalent of him.
Yeah, Bret Hart's a good foil to any sort of plan that's going on.
Yeah,
so he's going to come up and ruin it and give a big like "F you" kind of thing to them and leave.
Kind of like what Jericho ended up being as well.
And then we look at Lex Luger, who brings a fucking not to be outdone by Doink's mallet, he brings a full-fledged Morning Star into the ring.
Lex Luger was just of a bygone era. Like, he's just too good. Like, it just wasn't that compelling. Like, oh yeah, like the American champion. Or wait, who am I thinking of? The Olympic wrestling champion.
Oh, you're thinking of, I know what you're talking about. The guy that got the gold medalist?
Right, and they like just fucking
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, they drove that into the fucking ground. And I always felt like a Kurt Angle kind of clone to me. I don't know.
I mean, he moved over to WCW and didn't have this whole USA thing behind him. He was just sort of like a mid-range kind of wrestler. He wasn't good on the microphone, was kind of the problem with him. Really impressive physique, great moves. You know, so it's fun to like...
He's no Macho Man, cream of the crop.
No, he's fun to watch wrestle, but he's not like entertaining on the microphone or anything.
He wasn't better than the best.
Right.
That fucking video is great. She's like yelling at him, like saying how he's the best, and he shoves her by the face.
Yeah,
off camera.
Yeah,
and then the treatment
of Miss Elizabeth was never really all that good. It's one of those ones when you like look back on it, you're like, oh, like that's
and she's
not
only
okay.
there to support him. And he like throws her away, like I'm talking.
Yeah, that wasn't a one time.
Her back.
That wasn't a one time like thing either. Like you spent a good chunk of your early childhood like kind of worried for Miss Elizabeth.
You wonder how many times she tells the cops it was a false alarm.
Yeah, I fell down the stairs. All right,
in my trailer.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Counselor's Corner.
All right, so Ruben Estrada is telling us about Doom.
He looks like the prototype for Ali G.
What?
I don't think so at all.
I said the prototype.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Fine.
He just looks like a modern gamer, like the guy that hangs out at a GameStop.
Yeah.
And like has nothing to do. I did want to say something about Doom, though. I read there's a recent article actually about the making of this port for Super Nintendo, and how difficult it was, and how a lot of like developers look back and were like, "Holy shit! How did you get Doom working so smoothly on a Super Nintendo?"
Huh.
And like they kind of went behind the scenes and interviewed some of the guys that did the port,
right?
And like they didn't have official like developer hardware kits or anything, so they took like a Star Fox cartridge and like ripped it apart and took the Super FX chip and like developed sort of like reversed engineered it.
Holy
to
fuck.
get it to work.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little wild. So it's an interesting article. I think it's on Polygon, if I remember correctly. So you can go look that up.
And then once they did get it going, then as a fuck you to all their hard work, that's when I think it was BibleSoft Games, they converted this game into Noah's Ark.
Oh, right.
And it was such a bad thing that you had to plug a regular game into it in order to bypass the copy protection. Because that's how much of a ripoff of Doom it was. And you walk around hitting animals with a slingshot to put them to sleep. To collect them for the Ark.
And then for Yoshi's Island, we have Jill Lillijord. Interesting last name. Telling us about World 3.1, World 3.2, where to get stuff in World 2.2. What is she wearing?
I don't know.
A Rorschach test.
Yeah.
That jacket just screams like early 90s.
Yeah.
They will ask me to tell them how to get the spring ball in World 3.1, and I will whisper no.
All right. Next up for Mortal Kombat 2, we have Alan Bellardinelli asking, who the fuck is Noob Noob? Excuse me, how do I find Noob Cybot?
Poor matchmaking, Alan.
Oh my god! What?
Have we ever told that story on the show?
No.
We haven't told that
well,
story?
We need to hear. We need to hear it.
It's not that great of a story.
No, it's not.
But I'll go ahead and tell it since we mentioned it. So one of my best friends from like middle school, I kept in touch with him over the years, and at one point he was a developer for Tiburon, which makes the Madden games, and he would get online with us to play. Oh, was it Halo? Was it like Halo 3? Yeah, it was Halo 3.
It wasn't me. It was other friends of yours.
Oh, you didn't hear about this? It was me?
You've told me the story. I wasn't involved. Right?
Oh, I thought you were there to witness this.
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we were playing Halo 3, right? And his boss, who had like a British accent, would join on and play as well. So like I'm there with my with a couple of friends online and some randoms, and then my friend Alan and his boss, and we'd be in like the waiting room, and he'd see like different people pop in with different skill sets and whatnot, and then every single time without fail, his boss is going, "You see that? You see that, Alan? That's good matchmaking right there, Alan." Alan, that's good matchmaking there. Like, I'm like, were you responsible for the matchmaking for multiplayer? He's like, no.
Oh my god, he's just like the guy that watches. He's just like the guy that's like watching a hockey game, going, "That's a shot on the goal. That's a shot on the goal."
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell because he just shot at the goal.
I didn't understand. I'm like, is he supposed to be taking notes right now?
My friend Mike and I, we have another friend who's named Tariq, and Tariq was a waiter for a long time when he was working his way up. And whenever we go to a restaurant, like he would just point out everything, like not to the waiter, but like after the waiter would leave, he would like point out everything that the waiter had done wrong. And so, like, we have this phrase, like, "Thanks, Tariq," at a restaurant. Like, just whenever someone's, like, constantly pointing out where something was right or wrong, it's just like, "Oh, all right, great, thanks. Thanks for making that a fun experience." So,
thanks, Obama.
All right. And then Gary Ford has some Mortal Kombat 2 tips.
Apparently while he's doing evening at the improv.
What's the deal with Mortal Kombat 2?
I mean, how hard is it to find Jade?
Who are these people?
And why do they want to find a smoke? Don't they know it's bad for you?
Mm-hmm. All right, and then let's see. Urban Strike. I think this was not one that anybody had.
Nope, for Super NES. This isn't even on the table of contents, for God's sake.
Hold on, look at these fast facts for the mask. Do I really need $50,000 to enter Stage 7, the Cocobongo Club? No, it mentions this in the instruction manual, but you don't need it. Mail the money to us instead.
Nice.
Why won't my guns fire? Either you don't have enough morph energy or you're standing too close to a wall.
All right.
And the rest aren't that funny. The first one was, though.
All right. Urban Strike. I played this. It's just like Desert Strike, just like, in a city instead of desert.
Different maps.
Mm-hmm. Who gives a briefing to the CIA in a fucking Hawaiian movie?
What the hell is happening in this first cutscene?
I don't know.
There's a guy in a giant, oversized...
And apparently Dante from Clerks is their main
suspect.
suspect.
I was going to say, Kevin Smith here is giving some testimony.
When I met Malone, he wasn't Malone. I met a man who had no recognizable features. And they wanted me to work with Nicolas Cage to be Superman. Can you believe this fucker?
I guess they were saying he was Post Malone. Got the White Iverson going.
There's a spider in the third act.
Yeah,
All right.
and the next picture looks like that guy that was Jeffrey. No, not Jeffrey Hunter. The guy that was the principal in Ferris Bueller. You know, the child molester guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah. So
right.
we have quite an interesting trifecta of cameo appearances in this game. And again, who briefs the CIA in a Hawaiian jacket hoodie combo?
And shorts.
Yeah, not to mention the shorts, because
Cargo
you know
shorts.
I'm pretty sure
what weather is this guy?
that's your precursor to Ali G right there. All right.
What weather is this guy dealing with?
All right,
Vegas steaks.
which I skipped and just ate a steak instead. No, it's the same.
He named it Vegas.
Yep. No, it's the same as the Super NES version. Well, actually, that's not quite true. The Super NES version has that interesting, like, you pick who you're going to gamble with dynamic of it, even though there's no difference with who you selected. But it's... I mean... It's better than the other Vegas games that were out because there's like a little bit of story to it. It's the same dynamic of like either you bust out or you get to $10 million is like it's either or. Apparently, you can't just like whatever. But there are the same 5 games as the Super Nintendo. You got blackjack, slot machines, roulette, craps, and poker. And then there's like 3, I think, or 4 different casinos you can go to. There's a list in here somewhere.
It looks like
The
you can
Hideaway,
bet.
the Hideaway, Golden Paradise, and the 2020, which is kind of funny that it's coming up. But the 2020 is like higher bets. So there is a little bit of a tip in here. On page 93, it says, if you get offered the lottery ticket, so like that's one thing when you're playing, like people come up to you and they'll say like, "Oh, my kid's sick," like, or "I need some money for an operation," or "Hi Jim, I'm down on my luck. We'd like to invest in my lottery ticket." So it's like saying like, pretty much always take the lottery ticket offers because a lot of times they pay out. And then, but it says, don't invest in the genuine diamonds. The swanky crowd at the Laurel Palace will laugh at you for wearing the overpriced hunk of cubic zirconia. And when the guy wants to go to the hospital, well, he'll pick half of your hard-won dough from your pocket. So,
Ouch.
yeah, it's weird. Like people interrupt you as you're playing and like ask you to give them money for different reasons. Sometimes it can pay off because they'll like sell. They're like, "Hey, I need some money, but I'll sell you this winning lottery ticket," which just doesn't make any sense. But yeah.
It looks like you can bet on horse races and boxing matches.
The
The bottom of page 93.
yeah.
Boxing matches pay even odds because you don't pay the commission. They're better than slots, roulettes, or craps.
All right, I didn't find that part, so apparently you can.
You can bet on Seabiscuit, Cut in Front, or Captain Fred.
Yeah, you gotta go with Seabiscuit.
Yep. Okay, Mortal Kombat 3 for Game Boy. Mike, did you play this one?
Yes, I did.
Huzzah!
Oi!
I didn't do too good at it though. It's not that I found the music to be shrill and annoying, but that may be the emulator or maybe this game. But it
Probably
wasn't
the game.
fun. And I played as who's the four-armed girl? Shiva. I got beat by Kano. Okay, so that's how bad I was at this game.
Nice. All right, don't play the Game Boy version.
Yeah, don't.
All right, and for the Players Poll Contest, third prize, 50 winners of Nintendo Power T-shirts. Scream yourself silly in style. Second prize, 10 winners. You could win a Diddy Kong hat, Diddy and Dixie collectibles, which look like little plastic figurines, and Donkey Kong Country 2 for your Super NES.
That hat
And
looks more
for
like Downsy Kong.
And for number one grand prize, it says you get to go to win a trip for 4 to Six Flags Magic Mountain Theme Park. You can barrel through the Batman ride, conquer the Colossus, go to the head of the line, go on a private roller coaster tour, and get the VIP treatment.
I love Magic Mountain. I've gone
And then
5 or 6 times. It's great.
you can also get Donkey Country 2 for your Super NES.
That is a pretty damn good prize.
You a Magic Mountain guy, Ben?
Magic Mountain. No, I'm not a Six Flags person. I don't really like roller coasters. I don't enjoy them that much.
Yeah, me
Fair enough.
neither.
So total value of all prices is $5,000.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Power Players Arena is Power Challenge for Yoshi's Island, for Killer Instincts, and for Doom. And let's see here. I love this photo they have here of a baby chewing on a Super NES controller. And then they make fun of someone's blurry photo. It looks like, arg, Mario and the Princess look radioactive.
It's a me, Mario Fallout.
And they didn't shame anybody this time. All right, now playing. What do you think? Should we skip to the ones we didn't play?
Well, we can do Big Hurt Baseball because you didn't play it.
Mike, tell us about Big Hurt Baseball.
Yeah, you should have to do those. That's good.
A new slugger steps up to the plate and sends a long ball into the upper deck. Ouch.
An upper decker.
No, that's good, Mike. That means it hits a home run.
Good graphics, MLBPA license, good play and setup options. I love the photo insert here. It looks like the guy's bat broke off and is clubbing himself in the head. Unrealistically fast base running, no variety in pitchers and types of pitches.
Let's see, we have Time Warner has Kawasaki Superbike Challenge. The two-wheeled racing returns to the Super NES. Nice leaning drift control, using the right and left buttons. Possibly a good price.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. There might be. Maybe you think there's a discount coming. Passwords to save your progress. However, poor graphics and sound. Oh, by the way, that reminds me about the Waterworld game. If you put a password in, it spawns you without any ammo or guns. So you're further along in the game and you're fucked. So yeah, that game sucks balls. All right, we can do the Mech Warrior one because we hadn't played it, right?
Sure, Mech Warrior 3050 from Activision. Command powerful mech units in FAS's high-tech lethal future. Cool themes, good control, password for saving progress. However, very tough at first, sharp learning curve.
All right. And since Mike didn't really do NBA Give and Go, what do they have to say, Mike?
Big characters, fast action, multiplayer, includes both arcade and season modes. However, limited player moves, some flicker in the graphics under crowded conditions.
What about NFL
Anytime a
Quarterback
game
Club?
lags itself, you know they're fucking up.
Tell us about
Quarterback
NFL
Club?
Quarterback Club 96, Mike.
Out of the huddle and ready to score. NFL QB Club is back for more. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Excellent graphics, lots of good options, 5-player options. Excellent control of players on the field. Simulation mode. However, no injury or trade options except for QB trades. I don't know what that means.
Quarterback trades.
You can trade quarterback.
Why would you want to trade for injured
Okay. They're saying you can't turn off injuries or turn them on. Like it's like you're stuck with whatever it is, I'm guessing. And you can't...
You're wasting your breath.
Anyway, all right. The paid time off, too. Would World War II have been any different if you had commanded the fleet? And
Oh, we would have lost so hard.
yeah, that would be screwed. Guys, get closer to Japan. We need to keep our internet connection for tentacle porn. All right.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't nuke these people. Maybe we should be more humane. Oh, wow, shit, the war's dragging on for another 5 years. And we have lost millions of lives.
But their porn will stay unpixelated, so it's kind of a trade-off. Big and complex, players control almost everything imaginable. Incredible precision, and some luck is required to get fleets to meet and fight. Very slow to make turns, and a slow learning curve. All right, Ben, what do we have with Porky Pig's Rabadon Extravaganza?
Porky Pig's Shabbat Surprise. Porky Pig.
Porky
Pig's
Porky Pig's like Passover, like plethora.
Palooza.
Yeah. Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday. Porky Pig is finally ready for the release of his game on the Super NES from Acclaim. Nice graphics with some excellent effects, a good game for younger players. However, basic side-scrolling action, music, and sound is a bit weak, not overly challenging. I've actually played this game on ROMs recently, trying to see if it was appropriate for my kids.
Oh, yeah?
It is really weird. It's super dark, actually. It's just like
slice off a piece of his own ass and eat it?
No, not like that. It's just
no,
like
he takes a razor to his wrist and says, the date, that's all.
So, it's just kind of creepy. Like, it's really like the Haunted Holiday thing. It's not like fun and goofy. It's actually like creepy feeling. Like the music's creepy feeling, and like Porky, he just kind of saunters along. You can't make him like walk fast. He just kind of lollygags around. Like the animation for him is pretty good, but
yeah.
I mean the control is awful.
They reenact the stuttering scene from A Fish Called Wanda with him.
I'm telling you that when you visit that level based on the Gathering of the Juggalos was not fun.
All right.
And this developer made this game and nothing else. Like it literally lived and died. No, that's the publisher. The developer is like some weird duck logo, and I was like, "What the hell is that?"
All right, Wayne Gretzky and the NHLPA All-Stars. It's hockey on your Game Boy. It's fast hockey without slots and pull rods. So they're saying it's like unlike tabletop hockey, I'm guessing. All right.
You missed Waterworld. It has an exemplary positive. It says, interesting variety.
You don't get to talk about games
first.
and art sports games. You've been banished for your treachery. All right. Wayne Gretzky and the NHLPA All-Stars. It's fast hockey without slots of pull rods, fast learning curve, multiplayer option, full motion video highlights, puck and characters are larger than in other games. However, there's no NHL license, animation is jerky, and winner of the fight option in arcade mode stays on the ice. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I don't care. All right. And
so games they really loved Donkey Kong Country 2, and they loved Wario Land for Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Pack Watch. They're talking about Revolution X.
Yeah. God, how many times did you play that in arcade, huh?
Yeah, did they actually release this for Super NES? That must have been awful.
Yeah, you could play it with your Super Scope or your mouse, which helped. I'm pretty sure.
Featuring a hard rocking soundtrack from Aerosmith, that did not translate well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo wasn't really great for...
real music.
Yeah.
Let's see. Final Fight 3 coming up from Capcom.
Big Hurt Baseball is coming to the Game Boy.
Oh boy. PGA Tour 96.
Oh, look, you get to play as Tom Gallagher. Oh, you just sold me.
And then Waterworld for the Game
Fuzzy
Boy.
Zeller, come on. How many times have you said, I'm going to play as Fuzzy Zeller in a game?
Never?
You haven't lived, my friend.
I guess not.
The John Daly mode, you have to drink every hole.
Yes.
Didn't Fuzzy Zeller get like booted off Twitter for saying something racist?
You can look
or was
that
he
up.
just like booted from playing?
I don't remember. I wish I did. All right, let's see. Waterworld's coming to the Game Boy. The game no one ever wanted. Hopefully that didn't get ported either. All right, Tetris Blast. We have a Toy Story game coming.
Oh, they're promising 3D Tetris for Virtual Boy. I'm guessing that didn't get made.
Oh yeah, Fuzzy Zeller. He told the news crew to tell Tiger Woods not to serve fried chicken and collard greens at the next tournament.
Wow.
Man after my heart.
He was racist as fuck.
Yep.
Toy Story for Super Nintendo is coming out. Another bass fishing game.
I don't think that got released. I think it got pushed to the 64.
I've played it on Super NES. It's terrible.
Oh.
Zoop is coming out for Super NES. Let's see what else here.
Mark Davis, the fishing
Zoop is
master.
coming out
Come
for
on.
Game Boy. My bad.
Mark Davis may be to the world of angling what Michael Jordan is to basketball. That's crazy. All right.
There's a pinball game called the Getaway for Game Boy coming. Let's see here. What is this?
Super Star
That
Wars.
is a convoluted pinball game right there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
I have
it looks
no
like,
idea
over,
what it's
it
telling
looks
me
like
here.
a highway map.
Oh, it's just saying Acclaim bought some other companies. They bought Sculpted Software and Probe Entertainment. It's not game news
God,
necessarily.
that Star Wars game looks good.
It says Squaresoft, Nintendo, and Justice have announced that they would jointly found a new company with capital resources about $5 million with different controlling interests. And purpose would be to create a network for use with the Nintendo Ultra 64.
That went well, I'm sure.
I'm sure that did great.
Yeah,
What do we
I'm
have?
sure that merger with Square Enix less than 5 years later had nothing to do with this going well.
What do you have coming next issue?
We have Earthworm Jim 2 as the cover game next time. They talk about Revolution X, Mutant Chronicles. There's a 16-page special for members only.
Is it going with
And-
the jacket?
And then an additional report about Shishinkai. And let's see, here's an advertisement here. It says, tell them to stuff it. Put this in your stocking this holiday. I don't know what they're stuffing here.
It's a Super Game Boy.
Okay, that's just so super distorted. I couldn't
Yeah,
see
they've
what they were
they've
doing.
morphed whatever is here for some stupid reason, and it's like a clear Game Boy as well. They've made them look like ornaments and shit. I don't know why.
Okay. And the back cover has a cute little Diddy Kong with a banana on a lunchbox. I don't know what this is.
I think it's like a metal cooler.
I think it's one
Oh,
of
it's
the
like a
old timey
fridge.
fridges that Indiana Jones survived in the Crystal Skull.
Yeah. And then it's putting together a list that you want for Christmas, I guess.
Yep.
Interesting.
How much would
Alright.
that cost? It's how many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, times $60 or so.
Don't forget, one of them is the Virtual Boy itself, so you got to throw that cost in there.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking
That's like about $1,000 bucks.
more than that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Fun times. All right. Well, I want to thank John for his service on our program here. Thank you very much for joining us for these past seasons. We've certainly enjoyed having you.
It's been an adventure, and I won't be gone permanently. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy my retirement.
I'll bet. All right. And again, everybody, we're taking a break until the next season. And it'll be me and Mike back, and we'll try to get some additional guests to try and help fill the void that John is leaving.
The large
For us.
Reddit-filled void.
Indeed. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and sign us out. Mike, did you have anything to plug?
The Graveyard Shift. We watch horror movies. We're funny. We do skits because these Playing with Power guys are too lazy to do them with me. So, if you want to see more of my unbridled humor, check that out. Graveyard Shift, Horror with Sheldon and Mike. Find it on Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher. And we do have an episode for with the Playing with Power boys in there during our Chris Massacre theme month. So check that out. It's fun.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I'm Ben.
I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
Now you're playing with power.
The Nintendo Entertainment System.